What's up, you guys? My name is Aubrey.
And I'm HP.
And welcome back to our channel. So this is another van update for you guys, and we have a lot going on, and we have a lot that we've spoken about and done since the last video. So let us bring you up to speed. So you guys may remember that a couple of weeks ago, HP and I bought cabinets from Home Depot. We just bought like standard cabinets that you can buy for your own kitchen. But whenever I bought them, I didn't realize that cabinet depth in a van is vastly different than what cabinet depth in your kitchen would be. Traditional cabinets in your kitchen are like what? Like 24, 28 inches?
Yeah, easily.
24, 28, 32 inches. They are wider because they are a standard kitchen. Whereas in a camper van, they have to be significantly smaller because you have a lot less room to work with. So whenever HP and I got our Home Depot cabinets into the van, we quickly realized that they were not going to work in their current form because they were simply too wide. They had too much depth to them. So HP found a solution.
My solution? Cut it. Just cut it. Cut it right in half, and that's exactly what we did. So as you can see, taking a look at the cabinets, let me go ahead and scoot this. This is where the sink cabinet is going to be. We simply, I took it to a friend of ours who's actually a really good craftsman, and he looked at it and was like, yeah, we can do that. So we simply just rotated the cabinet like a rotisserie chicken and cut the back half of it off. Now, what we determined was, Aubrey and I, 18 inches is the perfect size for these cabinets to be, where we have all this room. Now I've got birthing hips, as you can tell, and I need a lot of room to get back and forth between these cabinets, so we made these equally 18 inches. Now we do have one of the more wider vans on the market. This is a Transit 350, but that doesn't mean we can use up all of our space with cabinets. So this will give us enough room to jump up on our bed or climb up on our bed when we put steps in. We reinforce these cabinets right here with some extra wood on the back end, and then we simply epoxied everything back together. So now we have plenty of room.
This was another one of those things that, like, whenever we thought of the idea, we thought of it, and very rarely do our ideas pan out like exactly how we want them to pan out, and this was one of them. HP was able to knock this out, and it took like most of the day, one day, but it was like a random Saturday he got it knocked out. And the only thing is that we do have a third cabinet coming here. It was a cabinet with drawers. Because of the fact that we were cutting the cabinet, and if we were going with drawers, we would have had to cut the drawers as well as the slides. We decided to return that one and get one more cabinet with doors rather than drawers. So we are still waiting on that. But these cabinets worked out perfectly. So this will be one cabinet, this will be another that has the sink, and then we're just waiting for the third so that HP can cut that one too.
Now, electrical, I have got started on. I've gotten a little more brave with it now that I've done a lot more research, and it's a bit of a struggle because everybody's electrical diagram and how they configure their van or camper or RV is completely different. Some people want to be able to plug in at a campsite and use shore power. Some people just simply want to use just solar, and some people want to be able to use solar and charge their batteries off of their vehicle. So what we are doing is just solar and charging our batteries off our vehicle.
So the third option, right?
Third option. Now this is going to be different for everybody, but it all depends on budget and how much money you spent. Now we ended up going with a very moderate budget because we want to make sure that we're not spending too much money, and truthfully we're going to be doing a lot of camping and we're going to be going out and adventuring a lot. So we don't need to really have the most expensive budget to have all the energy, but we want to make sure we have enough power if we do go venture off for a week or two. Now what I've also started is I've already started wiring some of the wires from our battery that is from our vehicle out. So now we have cables that are going to go to a charge controller. I've got wires lined up into switches that are going to be for our lighting. Now we're going to have two sets of lights. Lights that are going to be over our bed, and then lights that are going to be over what is essentially our kitchen living area. Now all the switches have already been wired to a dimmer where we're going to be able to switch them on and dim them or turn them completely off. So that's what I have so far with the electrical. It doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're doing everything from scratch, it takes a bit of time.
As for what we're going to be doing this week, I have my staining clothes on, and we are going to be staining the garage area, specifically the walls, and we are also going to be finishing the bike rack that we started last week, and that needs to be stained as well as a few other parts on top of that. So let's dig into that right now, and let's get started. So for stain, we decided on this Kona brown color, and basically the plan is that we're going to be staining anything that's exposed wood, but the ceiling is going to be in this Kona color, but the wall is going to be in white wood. But basically anything else that's like exposed that we're not painting, that's just going to be like a raw wood color, not painted, it's going to be in this Kona color. I'm hoping it turns out. We'll see, but time to get started. I'm not sure how I feel about this. It's a bit darker than I wanted. So here's the original, here's this one, and this video really does not do it justice either. It like shows it almost black with the camera, but it's like a very, very dark brown color. You can kind of see it a bit better here. My original plan was to stain this entire thing now, but according to my dad, it takes about 24 hours for the stain to see its true color, and I don't want to stain this entire van this color if I don't like the color. And so I'm gonna let this cure so that I know whether or not I like the color, and I can see what it's actually gonna look like once it dries. So I've let this cure now for about 48 hours, and I'm not a huge fan how it turned out, and to be honest, I think it's because of two different reasons. Why are you crying? So number one is I think it was the way in which I applied the stain. I applied it more like paint, not like stain. And I think that probably affected it as well. But number two is I just think the color is too dark. It's not what I pictured. I wanted more of like an oaky color, not like super dark like that, and I'm just not happy with it. So the plan is I am going to apply this color to this wall right here. So both walls of the garage will be this dark brown color. Only reason is because I don't want to like install a new board to replace the one that I just stained, and I don't want them to be mismatching. So I am going to stain this one right here, and then the rest of the van will be done in a different color. This is the color that I got to replace it. So this is the new color that will go on the rest of the van. So we'll do the rest of the garage this color, the shelves this color, the garage storage this color, the bed color, everything. And I am super, super happy with how this turned out. So I did a test plank here, and then we also already started doing some of the van in this color. And it's quite honestly exactly what I pictured. 48 hours later, and we have made some real progress with the staining. So this is the new color that we picked out after I did not like the original color. This is going to be the ceiling panels, and then there is the bike rack over there, and then a shelf for the water tank over there. HP, what are your thoughts on it?
You like it because it matches my skin tone perfectly.
I don't know if that matches perfectly.
That's pretty spot on.
It is actually alarmingly close. But I am super, super happy with how this has turned out.
So we got this shiplap from Lowe's, and we actually ended up going with a stain called Early American. And we didn't have to sand it down. It actually already came ready to go ahead and stain. And we stained all the way across, and then we ended up putting a little bit of sealer on top as well. So it kind of gives it that nice shine. But like the can says, it won't scratch. So if it gets dinged or scratched,
also water resistant.
Oh yeah, and water resistant too. In case our roof leaks, it'll just roll right off.
Fun fact, we're currently dealing with a leaky roof.
It's not perma leaky, it's just temporary leaking. It's temporary porous.
So this week we have the cabinets done. HP has gotten even further in the electrical. We've stained a bunch, and we got quite a lot done, even though as I'm listing it off, it doesn't seem like we got that much done.
It's a lot of working hours. It's a lot of busy work. I mean, staining seems like something you can just brush back and forth, but...
I hate staining. I hate it. I never want to stain again after this project. And I said that last time I stained whenever we redid our house, but this time I mean it. I do not want to stain anymore. My hands are stained. I'm tired of it. So then that brings us to the conclusion of this video. So about 6 weeks ago, HP and I, or I guess I shouldn't clump HP in this because it was definitely my declaration of the goal of trying to finish the van in 6 weeks time. And that begs the question of, did we actually finish the van in 6 weeks? And I think it's safe to say from the last few videos that no, we did not.
We didn't finish. We have some very high expectations of what we're able to do, but life gets in the way, and I think it's important that we set some pretty realistic goals, but it's also necessary to push ourselves. So I'm not totally disappointed that we didn't finish, but I think we're getting there. We're pretty close.
To be honest, I think that we're super close. I've been telling HP that I think that we can get it done by the end of August, but I also thought that we could get it done in 6 weeks, so I am naively aggressive with my goals. But I'm super pumped with how far we've come. So in the next week, what we need to concentrate on so that you guys know what to expect in the next episode is we are going to be installing the ceiling that I just showed being stained. HP is going to install the lights into the ceiling, which will be big. That will be a big thing once that's done. And then we probably also are going to begin the process of installing the floor. So we have some really big things coming this week. So like always, you guys, we appreciate you checking out the channel.
If you have any questions or comments about our build, put them down in the comments below. Be sure to hit that like button, that subscribe, and that notification bell, and we'll see you on the next episode.